It's 11:59 at Radio Free America, and this is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone. The chair is against the wall. The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache. John has a long mustache. It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.
All right, welcome everybody to our Daily Gun Show. Come to you live every weeknight at midnight Eastern, and we talk about guns for about an hour. Tonight we're talking about revolvers, this dog's favorite revolvers, our co-host's favorite revolvers in movies. So if you can pick this dog's favorite revolvers in movies, then you just might be the winner of tonight's show, maybe. So welcome to everybody who's joining us late. Why are we late? Maybe because of this co-host, his big jerk. And he wanted to go outside, and then he didn't do anything outside except eat grass. Now he wants to go outside again. So we got that going for us right here. First off, I'd like to apologize to the people that are disgusted by having a dog in a gun video. I know that I've been lectured by people that you should not have dogs in dog videos, dogs and gun videos? Guns and dog videos, whatever the reason is. You shouldn't have dogs in videos on YouTube, I've been told. So we do have a dog co-host. Very difficult for people to deal with. All right, so as you'll notice in the background, we've got the campaign going. We've reached the $2,000 mark. Thank everybody for participating. We have 39 backers on board. We've got 5 days left, this many days. So we still need to get quite a ways into it, but we're definitely off to a good start. We definitely have a machine, albeit a smaller one, on the agenda, but we're still going for that big machine. If you'll notice, I guess I don't have it listed here, but am I going to have to turn the camera off? Are you going to be good? What's he doing over here? If you notice, Alan Anchor is moving. They haven't said where they're moving to, but maybe that's why they're getting rid of that sewing machine. You ever think of that? All right. So he's just decided to just go to sleep after all, and could bother everybody. So we can take him off the screen. You don't have to look at him anymore. And let's talk revolvers in movies. So has anybody figured out what this dog's favorite revolver in a movie is? And we'll see if we can come up with that. All right, so let's see. We've got a bunch of people joining us live, and we do appreciate that. We do this show live because we value the interactive nature of the internet. Let's see. We've got Roy, who's the first one to join us. Welcome. Sorry to have been late, tardy to the show today. Again, blaming it on the little puppy. We were really just hanging out in the Chris 74 Hours After chat, and I didn't realize it was time for the show because we were over there BSing. So again, apologize to everybody who was sitting here on time. I see that we have at least one correct answer out there already. Let's see. Why is that thing appearing? It covers chat. What are we talking about? Probably the preview. I do a preview now because you can. I think it's neat. Jordan is out there. Gunswater. Tim is out there, and I don't think I'm missing anybody there. Kind of scrolling through. If I am missing anybody, feel free to say hey. There's Gizzard out there, and Woods saying about revolvers. If anybody wants a link, let me know. Debated putting out, if you quit licking yourself, then you wouldn't cough like that. And then nobody would have to hear you coughing like that. This is as bad as when I had that Canadian co-host. Let's see. So again, if somebody wants a link, let me know. I almost sent out some links earlier, but then I didn't. Couldn't figure out where to put them. I was going to put them on Instagram, but nobody seemed to have little green dots next to them. I'm unfamiliar with the Twitter, so I don't put out links over there. I used to do it to channel members and to Patreons, and mostly channel members came in. So I feel like I've lost a method to get links out to people who, are vetted. Is that the right word? Make sure that they're not going to be weird when they come in here. Woods is saying Barney Miller. So many revolvers, but not a movie. You're right. It is a TV show. I'm picking you up, and you're sitting in my lap because I don't know what you're doing. It's definitely being fussy. I am now deeming this dog fussy. Sitting here looking like he's not satisfied with anything that's being provided for him right now. Here, we'll let everybody see just how spoiled of a dog this is. Will this work? Oh, now he's going to be wiggly about it. Let's see if I can do this. He's insisting on being held upside down over here, and it's very uncomfortable for me. And I have to hold him. He weighs almost 20 pounds sometimes when he's fat like this, and I'm having to hold him upside down. So everybody knows this is how fussy he's being right now. All right, so if you hear grunting, it's because Fussy over here needs to have his belly rubbed. He'll fall asleep here in a second, and we can get back on it. This is one of the reasons that I've been lectured about not having dogs in videos. Show of hands about people who've seen the show Barney Miller. We had a little talk about that on the overnight, the mouse party, which happens after this show on Wednesdays. So if this show's boring to you and you don't like having a bunch of dogs in your show, then stick around for after this show. You'll find a show called the Mouse Party, which I think we were talking about Barney Miller in there. I haven't gotten around to watching Barney Miller. I started watching Mannix, and I really liked Mannix. It was a lot of muscle cars in there. It's from 1967 to 1971 or something like that. And a heck of a lot of cool cars, weird looking clothes, weird electronics. The whole first season of that Mannix show, they have like computers and stuff, and they have unrealistic expectations of what computers could do, even nowadays, but even back then it was crazy. So it's a super cool show. And I get sick of it. So I've been watching Miro Wolf, also a recommendation from that show. But I never got around to watching Barney Miller. I've already seen every Barney Miller at least 3 or 4 times, like back in the olden days when all you could do was watch reruns. So I'm less interested in watching Barney Miller, but eventually I'll watch some Barney Millers, I guess. All right. Barney Miller is a bad 2-hour movie. Is there a movie of Barney Miller? Wait a minute. Is there a movie of Barney Miller? Okay, I'm not going to try to pronounce that. So we'll keep going to Gizzard. Good evening. G23 is out there. Was in the back chat. That other one that got me late here. 44 Magnum is one of his favorites. I don't think this dog could shoot 44 Magnum. I think it would scare him. It would be a scary gun for this little tiny dog. Oh, let's see. Gunswatter saying the Model 29 44 Magnum and Dirty Harry. I don't think this dog's ever seen Dirty Harry, so I don't think it's that common. Woods is saying the Smith & Wesson Model 10. It's a safe choice because it's a common gun. This dog is from the streets, but no, not that gun. He probably could shoot a 38. He's from the streets. As far as revolvers, special edition LCRX and a Rhino 30 DS. I don't know what a 30 DS is. Is that a 30 carbine? Taurus Raging Hunter. That might be the one that's on the thumbnail of this thing. Jordan is saying the Smith & Wesson Model 29. Nope, but Bob would want him the Smith & Wesson Model 29, I think. Let's see. They said they were moving to Arizona on Tuesday night. Oh, well, I guess I wasn't watching on Tuesday night. Oh, She Fires is out there. Good evening. Thanks for being the first participant of the robot project. Thank you for that. Woods is saying 44 Bulldog. It's a good option, but he's kind of little. Let's take a look and see if his face reacts to the 44 Bulldog. Hold on. Oh, dang it. That would have been good. Come on. Where's my little mouse? He was giving me a look. Whenever I said 44 Bulldog, he gave me a look. He's not giving me the look now, so you didn't get to see it. But it's not a 44 Bulldog. Let's see. There we go. Boom. NAA Pug, obviously. It's on the thumbnail of this thing. Frida? Oh, okay. I would have never thought of that. We differently here, I guess. So Gizzard is saying the NAA Pug, and that it would be the actual correct answer. How many NAA Pugs does he carry around? 22 Magnum Pug is taking it. Yep, exactly. All right, everybody's asking about snow and whatnot. And just got a quick glimpse of mushroom burrito. Let's see. And it covers the comments. It's the heart that we can click in the chat that covers the comments. It's not what that means. All right, so this is super boring. I don't like these chats where I just sit here talking about the comments. So if somebody wants to jump in, let's do it. Otherwise, I guess I should get to work doing something. There's plenty of things to do. So why don't we figure out something to do over here? I guess I could start getting ready for the Friday show. So we'll get some little 2A going here. Wait, what? Why is it showing me one of my own shorts from like months and months and months ago? That's weird. Somebody was saying that they're getting recommended videos from years ago from everybody. I'm definitely getting that. How many people are getting YouTube recommending videos that are like years old? That's an interesting phenomenon that's happening right now. Gizzard is saying, I carried an NAA Pug in my sweatpants pocket when I was on my walk this afternoon. Super lightweight. I'm a big fan of the Pugs. I mean, they're a little heavy because they got a lot of extra metal on them, but they look super cool, so they're kind of worth it. Let's see. It's super anti-gun, but it was 1975 to 80. Uh-oh. Now there's lag, and I don't know what I'm reading the comments to. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, I guess I'll show you stuff because it's super boring to just watch my icon wiggle. So we'll open up the screen here and get rid of me. There. So now there's the comments. Everybody saying stuff. Good afternoon. Good evening. I'm getting a lot of recommendations for 12-year-old videos. Now they will because they're not monetized. So they're going to start showing you all my videos probably because they don't got to pay me anymore. Let's see. I'm not getting recommendations, and it offers me old DGS. Yeah, I think you were saying that in the other one. Oh, I see. You're getting old videos. I got you. All right, so I'm going to jump in. Here's what I do. I go to StreamYard, which is one of my favorites. Boom. Now we got StreamYard open up over here. Wide monitor, so I can do this kind of stuff. We're going to say create a live stream, put it on the 2 big channels and Twitter. And then we're going to call it, well, I'm not going to call it nothing because I don't like typing. So we're going to go over here. We're going to, I guess, first go back to the channel, work over into the video somewhere and find one of those weekly ones. Pause and then just grab this and drag it over. Then I don't have to type nothing. Schedule this thing for Friday, and then still don't have to type nothing. I can just drag that up there. See how easy that is? That's the first time I had to hit the keyboard is to hit delete right there. All right, and now it's going to be episode 1500. What should we do for episode 1500? You can, if you're listening right now, this isn't like one of them lazy shows where people just entertain you. They bring you a bunch of fascinating, entertaining things that are scripted and thought out. I don't do any of that. Here, you're part of the show. You are going to be participating or you're just going to be bored. So it's episode 1500. And since you are here tonight live, and I'm trying to figure out what to do on episode 1500, you can be part of that decision making process. So, what do we do on Friday? Episode 1500. Yeah, I know. No other show has ever gotten to episode 1500 before. This is completely unprecedented. Unprecedented. Big deal. That happens all the time. We constantly do things that nobody else is even able to do, let alone willing to do. But what should we do for episode 1500? Let's go find out. Let's go see if it is true that there is no other episode 1500 on YouTube. I typed in episode 1500 and let's see what we get. First, let's filter this by most popular. By rating, because that's all that matters is what's popular. So, what is going on here? How can 12,000 be popular? So the Johnsons, whatever that is, some kind of show, got 1,500 episodes, but that's a TV show. That don't count. Episode, this is about the year 1500, so that don't count. Episode 1500 is talking about a vehicle. That don't count. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I've just done a thorough YouTube search, and there ain't nobody who's ever gotten to 1,500 episodes. I'm going to put podcast episode 1,500 in here, see what happens. Right now, it's an exhaustive YouTube search. Episode 45, see? Oh, Joe Rogan. He acts like he got 1,530, but that's fake. We've determined that's fake. So, yeah, nobody else has ever done 1,500 episodes before on YouTube. This is another fake one here. So aside from 2 fake channels that act like they've done it, nobody has done it. So we're just going to go ahead and act like nobody has done this before. So help us figure out what we should be doing. We should do a rapid fire trivia question. All right. Who is the producer of the Rapid Fire Radio show? Boom. Go. All right, so let's dig into the history. So I like to look at my YouTube history and go back and see what I was looking at that was good and post that on the weekly wrap up, right? So it was just in Chris's show. That was pretty good. I always take Matt's chat out of there because Matt talks about news of the day. And if I leave Matt's chat in there, I start getting recommendations for news of the day. So I watch Matt's chat once in a while, but I don't leave it in my history. Often some of these other channels, if they're talking too much about politics, I'll do the same thing because YouTube uses your history to determine what they're going to feed you. And I don't like them thinking they know what I want. Let's see. So this one was kind of interesting, but not worth talking about on the end of the week. Got Barbecue doing his thing. Glover's got his podcasts out there. We had a pretty epic conversation last night with Gizzard and everybody, so I think I'll leave that up. Let's see. Yankees got a project going. Liberty Doll did a thing about the CEO of YouTube stepping down. I should probably leave that story in here. But Liberty Doll talks about way too many politics, and I don't want a bunch of politics coming in. This is some tech crap that I had to look up. That's just going to make my feed look weird. I was looking for AI stuff, so I watched a couple of AI videos. That one's from Pot of Gold, but I don't want a bunch of toy stuff showing up in my thing. Brooke Cheney had a video about Connecticut legislative process. We're definitely going to include that. Cape Gunworks hosts the 2A Tuesday segment at Grace Curley. We want to include that. Did you know that New York missed a filing deadline because of the President's Day holiday? It's worth putting that in there. We had a good crowdfunding chat with Clover on Tuesday, so we'll include our own stuff there. I always get rid of shorts because there's always a bunch of weird shorts. These are all okay. I don't know about y'all, but if you open up a short on YouTube, I am often appalled and disgusted by the garbage that comes up in the shorts. So I understand that people dig them, but holy moly, do they put some crap in the shorts. And that's one of the reasons I go through and delete a bunch of this stuff. Pretty interesting conversation with Meet the Pressers talking about that can right there. Let's see. Get rid of that. This is an interview with Jack Murphy. He's one of the dudes from the team room, or the team house, I guess. That's Ghost's car channel. That was us making a 3D thing for Clover that was a massive failure. There's Minnesota has stuff going on, but I don't necessarily want to post this. I guess I have to, since the other stuff was last week. Speaking of the Dirty Harry gun, there's Yankee putting the Dirty Harry gun in his thing. The Virginia Citizens Defense League had a virtual meeting this week. Those are always good. They do a great job. Let's see. It looks like Budget is going to change his name back to Budget again, hopefully. Maybe not, but maybe. Locked and Loaded had an episode. They'd been off for a while. Sisters in Arms had Jim Wallace from Goal on again. That's worth checking out. They have a lot of fun. They know each other, and it kind of shows. They have a lot of fun with their conversations. This was a pretty interesting video about some of the 3D printing technology from SHOT Show, from Out of Battery. Rhonda Mary's just killing it with all the black gun history this month in these shorts. So it's about Otis McDonald in Chicago's. So Heller said, you have the right to carry, and then and outside the house. And then McDonald was the one that told the states, yeah, this applies to you too. And then Ezel had to tell Chicago, yeah, this applies to you. And then they were like, what? And then she took them back to the Supreme Court, said, yeah, this applies to you, Chicago. So let's see. We got an SKS for this old gun. We got Suicide Prevention Saturday. It always goes in. I don't know if you're watching S2 Underground, but it's certainly worth checking this channel out if you're interested in the real deal of what's happening and going on out there in the world. 2A Cops just posted a new video today. So that was everything I've already looked at, right? That was my history. And we got the Saturday evening chat, G23. There was no overnight this week because he refuses to do that every single week. All right, where are we at with time? I forgot that I started late, so I think we're okay. We got about an hour before the next show starts. Got a Foul Territory in there. They were talking about... What was that? It was some kind of weird hiccup yawn. How do you carry? Rogue Banshee started that Godfathers of Gun Building channel or project. The CIA secrets is crazy. That guy gets super drunk, but it is an interesting conversation. If you want to know more about China, definitely something to listen to. It's hard to listen to if you don't like listening to drunk people. But some people get a kick out of listening to drunk people. If you don't know if you know who Sonny Pazooka is, I don't know how to say his name. So Pazookas. But he's a Spetsnaz guy from back in the day, from way back in the day. Came over to the United States, hung out in Florida. I think he might still be in Florida. But it looks like he's got a podcast going now. So a little late to the game on the podcast, but I don't know are there any other Spetsnaz people doing a podcast. All right, so that's a bunch of them. That's pretty much how I figure out what I'm going to be doing for the weekly wrap-up. So this is Wednesday. Sometimes I would do this during one of the shows I listen to, or I would do this off-air, but since nobody was saying anything, I went through and pulled a bunch of them. However, that's not everything I've seen. That's just everything I've seen on this machine because I watch stuff on my other computer. So now we're going to go through the subscription list and see of the people we subscribe to what videos been watching, or I missed, I guess. I pretty much watch all the bullets, but I don't post them because usually they're just talking about news of the day. I'm almost always in barbecues chats, but unless it's something epic, I'm not gonna promote a ripoff of this show. Come on, man. We should do a rapid fire trivia. So that was the producer of the show. That's the on air talent would be Toby. Let's see. Wood says ideas for Friday. Old DGS questions. What was the old car before the van? What dog did I review? I've reviewed all the dogs. What's the name before the Daily Gun Show? Oh, that's actually a pretty good question. So I don't know if anybody knows those, but if they answer them now, well, then they just ruined it. So good idea, though. Thanks for the idea. I don't think anybody else. Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's the same thing. So I don't think anybody else has offered any ideas. This one's just me rambling so far. So it's probably a pretty boring show. We did a show earlier with the AI. So if you're interested in seeing what will replace humans, computer robots, these computer robots are crazy cool. And some of the cool things they can do, besides skipping that ad, are to make these creepy images, essentially. And this is, keep in mind, free AI that I'm using for free in 2023. So what did the internet look like in 1995, right? Compared to today, this is what AI is doing now. It's kind of scary and kind of creepy, kind of interesting to think about what it's going to do in the future. So it's pretty fun. So why don't we, instead of trying to show you a video of what happens, if you just go over to AI, go knock, 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 hey AI, you can type something in there, and like what Wood said, what was the old car before the vans? And then see what AI turns that into a picture. Of course, Woods had to book out of here before he sees the result of his question. Did he know he was asking the AI? We don't know. Usually takes about a minute. It's at 20 seconds right now. This is why it's boring to watch the AI work. If I was paying the AI, it would have been done by now. It usually takes 20 seconds, I guess, when you're paying the AI, but I don't pay the AI. The AI works for me for free. Who thinks that when you get something for free, it's free? Show of hands. Yeah, exactly. It's not free. You're not paying for it, but you're paying for it. All right. So what was the old car before the vans turned into that or that? That's kind of cool. That one's actually pretty cool too. I like this one a little bit. It kind of looks like the Munsters. That's kind of cool. That's super cool. That is actually pretty neat. That's like a, what do they call them things? That one's kind of cool too. I like that one. So these are all kind of neat. So that's how the AI works. You give it some words, and then it turns those words into images. And then here, I'll put in, why do shotguns think they are so cool? Is that a description of a picture? Not really. It's just a bunch of words, but I'm not aware of any rules that say, I'm not supposed to break AI, but I don't have to have a cohesive sentence. I can just type weird stuff in there and see what happens. I'm allowed to do that. So let's see what happens with, why do shotguns think they are so cool? Any ideas? What's that going to show up as? There's no way for you to know because it's a robot coming up with it. C&T is about to head out. Good evening. Woods is out of here, so a bunch of people are booking out of here. Eventually, we're at 40 seconds. That means we could have put a poll up there, I guess. I didn't. It's disappointing. If I wasn't trying to narrate a show that nobody's a part of, I got to figure out where to put links out there. Oh man, that's kind of neat. Why do shotguns think they're so cool? That's creepy. Oh, look at this creepy one. How creepy is that? Creepy and illegal. Weird. I don't know what kind of dreams this computer's having. Weird. Super weird. What? Are those fish? What? And again, weird. I don't know what it thinks people do to their guns, but that one's actually kind of interesting. But those aren't shotguns, shells. And then whatever that has, there you go. 9mm shotgun. That's pretty cool. So there you go. Oh, it says, why are they so cool? I guess it's like, okay, we'll make that cool. That is what FUD dreams look like. This is what Clover dreams about. Oh man, if it had an extra barrel, if it just had one more barrel. Let's see. So I'm going to say shotgun with a dozen barrels. Oh wait, I'm going to say a dozen double barrels. And let's see what happens with a shotgun with a dozen double barrels. Clover's probably reporting to my channel now. It's like, you're not allowed to play around with shotguns like that. We all know Woods can't do nothing about it because he went to sleep already. I'm going to put in here something about Glocks. No, you're not allowed to put in gun stuff. Well, actually, I put in gun stuff all the time. Anyway, this will be the last one. I swear. This will be my last AI for the night. I swear. I'm not going to do no more AIs after this one. No matter what this comes up as, no matter how good it is or bad it is. It can't be bad because it's computer generated. But we'll call this the last one, even though it's going to be amazing probably. Shotgun with a dozen double barrels. It's going to be done almost any time. Nice. So I don't know what the heck that's supposed to be. That's kind of cool. Like they're in a rack or something. Like it's got a dozen standbys. Like I don't know what's happening here, but whatever. Okay, that's not a thing, but it happened. This is pretty nice. Okay, well, whatever. Okay, well, all right. Boom. We got a winner. I don't know what's going on here, but there are a dozen double barrels in this thing. Nice. So yeah, this is something like what Clover's trying to figure out how to create. He's trying to reload for this right now. Like, how do I reload for this? All right, now we're done. All right, so this is what happens when you don't plan anything. How much longer do we got? Oh my goodness, another 45 minutes. I guess you are going to have to watch me finish off this task. I don't know what else I'm supposed to do. Or at least what else I could do in this amount of time before the next show starts up. So this is one thing, is the amnesty period won't stop you from, where'd it go? Well, that's interesting. Where did that go? Man. Quit it. Quit it. All right. This, come on, man. So, oh, here it is. The amnesty period.
One of the three separate ways that ATF can still jam you up if you have a pistol brace. Stay tuned. We're going to go over them really quick. But if you think this is an infringement, if you don't like what's going on, and you like hearing the police perspective on it.
All right. So they're figuring out how to run a channel. So I haven't seen that one yet. I got to go watch that one still. But that's the two cops that run a channel that offer police perspective on Second Amendment stuff. Let's see. This one from John Lott I was thinking about looking at. It's It's only 3 minutes long. Am I missing any videos that y'all have seen that I should take a look at? Let's see. What else do we got going on that I might have missed? I usually watch the reload, so that won't show up over here because I watch the reload on the other computer, I should say. So eventually we'll get down to, here we go, the reload. Who did he have on this week? He had 4 Boxes Diner guy. Wait, didn't he? Somewhere in here, the reload will be posted. Yeah, he had the 4 Boxes Diner guy on. So that one wasn't in my feed because I watch it on my other machine. Uh-oh, I missed this. What is this? The Sharp Woman, female self-defense, Sharp Women, intuition, X something. Interesting. I missed that one. So I got a podcast. I could be listening to a podcast right now that's probably going to be more interesting than this podcast that I'm actually making right now. What else do we got? Oh no, Palmetto State is going to battle right after they were called out for not going to battle. Did anybody watch Quantum Mania? Shitty movie. What was Matt's review of Quantum Mania? I'm not going to watch it. I mean, I watched the movie, but I'm not going to watch Matt's review of it. Look at all these shorts. People are making money on shorts right now, so that's why you're seeing a lot of shorts going up. Let's see. Did I get the guy from the F-18 guy from Top Gun? That was a pretty interesting conversation. That guy went to college, got out of college, went to work for some business on the stock market, said, screw this, and decided to go into the Navy to be a pilot. Ended up being an F-18 pilot in Top Gun. So pretty cool conversation there. Listening to an Apache and a F-18 pilot talking to each other. Kind of reading, so I'm not talking a lot as I read through some of these to make sure if there's something I watched but didn't already include in the list. I really like it when people do these shorts and then their cameras are backwards and that makes their American flags backwards because essentially it makes your American flags backwards. You know what I'm saying? You had the Bullet with Sandhills on the other day. Roy is saying he's been meaning to check out the 2A Cops. I think you'll like it. If you like this show, you probably like it. They don't get too crazy, and they both got long actual careers as police, and they've got a similar mindset to everybody we know. So they offer a great perspective that's actually got some, actual insight to the situation from the law enforcement side of it. Matt will watch anything he likes. So some of the worst, he appreciates things that I don't got time for, and I hold it against a movie if they suck so bad that they wasted my time. That's on them. Like they shouldn't have acted like they're going to be good when they suck. But that Quantum Mania was a waste of time. It was like watching mashed potatoes eat pudding. It was just nothing. It was a waste of time. I guess if you just want to pay a bunch of CGI people to put CGI vomit on a screen, then there you go. But I'm not impressed by more CGI. I want something to be done in the movie or have something interesting happen. when you just make things small and fake. That's all they did. It's like, hey, let's make everything super tiny and then fake. Well, then there's no science and it's boring and it's fake. It might as well be back to magic and witches and their all that crap again. So it was just the equivalent of elevator music, a movie that was elevator music. I think that they can do good CGI. Starship Troopers is good CGI from back in the day, of course. But then whoever that wizard guy is, they have some wizard guy who walks around with a cape. You call him a superhero, but he's a magic wizard. That guy's movie, the first one, Magic Wizard, the Super Wizard, or whatever it was called. I'm pretty sure it was called Magic Wizard, the Super Wizard. That movie was Doctor Strange, the Magic Wizard. That one. That had amazing special effects, and they weren't so much they couldn't see what was going on when they took a city and twisted it all up into a knot. You could see that happen, and it was really cool, and it looked cool. This new one, they're like, hey, let's take a bunch of mucus and tie it into a knot. Well, you can't tie mucus into a knot. What are they even thinking? So if Matt liked that movie, then yeah, he's crazy. All right. Well, I'm going to just go ahead and say I think I got everything in here, but I could be wrong. And if you're going to stick around, then you're going to watch me take all of these videos and jam them into episode 1500. I feel like we should be doing something good for episode 1500 instead of like homework or something, but whatever. So we got Mark Smith from the Four Boxes Diner was on the reload. Four Boxes Diner's new on the scene. Some kind of lawyer guy. Some guys adjacent to lawyers. And I think he's hit the ground running. All he's doing is selling his books. It doesn't seem like he's wasting anybody's time with a bunch of clickbait. But on the same end, he's there every day talking about something. So is that clickbait when you're there every day no matter what? Or is he just trying to build the channel? Can you fault somebody for either one, right? So bringing new insight to the mix, that's for sure. Let's see. So that was the Top Gun guy. Now we have Chris from 740. Good chat talking about optics tonight. It was an hour with the panel and getting the insight. I think it was a good introduction for people. But as far as like getting into it, we didn't even get a chance to get into it. So it's going to be curious to see if I know he shoots a lot of optics and he's got a lot of them. So curious to see if Chris will have like another show kind of taking it. Like if this was page 1 or chapter 1, is there going to be like another optics show that'll be chapter 2? Some of the topics that in the day we would have got into with optics and we didn't get into it with Chris's show right there. How long does it take you to zero? Like how many rounds do you put in? Do you take your optics off your gun? Do you buy one optic and swap it to rifles, or do you buy an optic for each rifle? Those are kind of basic still, and we just never got to those. So I'm curious about some of those. Because in other words, if you're only going to buy the one optic, then you might spend $3,000 on your optic because you're only going to buy the one, and you're more than willing to move it around between your guns. But if you're going to buy an optic for each gun, you're probably not buying $3,000 optics unless you're not worried about money, in which case you're not worried about money, so you're not going to have questions. You're not going to just going to do whatever you want. So that's where I'm curious. I think what ends up happening is most people want to drop a glass on top of each gun and then, for whatever reason, feel it's complete. But then again, you're sacrificing. You're not putting the ultimate cash into one optic, into one piece of glass, because you're only going to use it occasionally. And I don't know if that's something that too many people feel confident in their zeroing, or even know it's an option. So that's the kind of question I would have been asking. Follow up is like, hey, is it you don't do this because you desperately need an optic to sit vacant on guns in your safe all the time? Or is it because you don't like re-zeroing? You haven't done zeroing enough to get it to 3 shots so that it only takes 3 shots and it's over type of thing. People that zero in 3 shots They don't care. They'll have one super nice piece of glass and just move it around. 3 shots later, it's on the next gun. So that's something, oh man, what did I do? Are you going to go to the range and shoot 30 rounds through the same optic on the same gun and achieve something there? Or are you going to take 30 rounds and take the optic and put it back and forth on 2 different guns 10 times? You can take that 30 rounds and remove any apprehension you might have about removing your optic and putting it back on. Most people have somebody else put their optic on, try desperately to never have it bumped or anything, and then have to schedule a time to bring it back to get it fixed if they do bump it. You take yourself out of that whole process by just getting comfortable with zeroing in 3 shots. And guess what? Anything you've ever done was difficult the first time you did it. Maybe it wasn't even possible the first time you did it. And now you do it all the time. You don't even think about it. And somebody comes along and goes, how do you do that? That's not even possible for me. And you just say, oh, I just did it a bunch of times and now I can do it. There's no difference between that and zeroing in 3 shots. All right, so next is Minnesota is 1 vote away from passing extreme gun control. I still am curious if that is the case or if that is 1 vote away, meaning a 14% chance that it will ever happen in the state, ? So don't want to disregard if it's the 1. If they are literally 1 step away, we need to be doing something about this as a country. If it's the 2% chance thing getting changed to 14% chance, but it's virtually never going to happen, then we need to get past being concerned about trivialities, right? Like we got to get past being having our chain yanked every time common stuff happens. Most people aren't gonna get presented this information with any regularity, so it's very difficult to keep track of all the cycles and certain repetitive cycles, I guess. All right, next up is Sisters in Arms, the TV show with Carrie Ann and Rebecca in Massachusetts. And I'm going to put that up here with a Great Start Shooting School. They had, again, the guy from Goal, which isn't Get Out and Live. It is Gun Owners Action League. All right, so now I have to figure out where to put this stuff. I think we'll put this right underneath Chris's show. Pretty interesting tech and pretty interesting stuff that they're working on, including some direct firearm stuff. This is a giant printer. I missed a lot of that printing stuff at SHOT.
Act of the day. This is Otis McDonald. Otis McDonald will forever be known as the man that brought down Chicago's gun ban. He was born in 1933 to Louisiana sharecroppers and later moved to Chicago after serving in the Army in 1952. In 2010, the landmark U.S. Supreme Court case, McDonald versus the City of Chicago, forced Chicago to fall in line with the rest of the country and allow citizens to keep firearms in their home.
And I don't know why Brooke is silent, but Suicide Prevention Saturday almost always gets top billing on the show because 2 out of 3 deaths with a firearm are from a suicide. 100% of gun deaths are used against us. 2 out of 3 of those are from a suicide. 100% are used against us. Do you see where the discrepancy is there, where the audacity is there, where the immorality is there? But if you're dealing with people that have no concern for morals or scruples, that doesn't dissuade them, but it is a way to describe their position. So you can be upset by that. You can be offended by that. You can decide you aren't going to participate in that, or you can understand it, be better than it, and understand it so well that you win the conversations, or you win arguments, I guess, have better, more effective conversations, and both educate people on our side and challenge while changing minds on the other side. The other side depends on people in the middle not understanding that 2 out of every 3 deaths with a firearm are suicide, and they want to suggest that our property and the exercising of our rights is the result of the root of that. And we know that that's not the case. But again, instead of getting upset, master the ability to have conversations about it. And there isn't anyone else on the entire planet Earth that's using YouTube or any other platform right now that's putting a consistent effort to that. Probably the most important effort we could do. And at this point, Brooke Cheney's the only one putting consistent effort on that. It's pathetic. We have national level organizations that get gifted tens of thousands of dollars at a time, and they're not putting out consistent weekly efforts. One lady, a mom, a member of the DC Project, every single week puts out a half an hour, concise, but often non-scripted, but a real authentic effort to provide that awareness. There's literally nobody else doing it. That's the superheroes we got out there. All right, and then we got G23 in a different way at a little bit earlier time of the day, keeping the community together, insisting on feeding flesh-eating bacteria. He's such a nice guy. But here's what I say. Don't keep feeding flesh-eating bacteria. Let it die off. Maybe if he went into space, maybe he should consider some time in space. Skid Mark throwing $5 down for the robot. Thank you for that. In fact, I'm going to use that as an excuse to jump over here and click on this button from this dude who hosts the thing called the Mouse Party. He made me this. All right, so thanks again for the 5 global dollars, whatever they're called, and reminded me to throw up a thing for our project, which we are attempting to, we're going to just say, hork the robot off of Alan Anchor. They're reckless. They just let the robot do whatever, and there's been a lot of complaints. So I'm hoping to hork that robot, bring it back here to Arizona, where we can harness its abilities to wing patches out into the world. Second Amendment themed patches, mostly. So we got 39 people on board. We need about 140, so we're about 100 away. That brings us to about a third of the way we're there. We're at 28%, almost 33% of the way there. If you know anybody that's interested in helping us with that project, consider dropping a link to them if you would. If you want to get on board, now's the perfect time. But really, the way these crowdfunding projects work is I'm just looking for 140 people on this rock that spins around that sun over there. And if I can locate those 100 and something people, then this project gets funded. So if you're not able or interested in dropping resources down for something like this, no harm, no foul. But if you would, please share the project. It has innumerable, uncountable, immeasurable effort or effect for what we're trying to do. So thanks again to the people who are sharing it out there, getting the word out. It's not that another human being has to see what you're doing. The robots that keep track of the internet see that there's another little tick mark for this project, and they go, maybe this project is a little better than we thought. And every time somebody does that, the internet thinks, What are we missing? Let's start putting this out to more people. This must be trending. See how that works? And then the internet throws it in front of so many people that it becomes trending. And before you know it, it gets funded. And all you did was help move a link around. There's an ulterior motive to this. What if this wasn't a stupid robot for me? What if this was something about comments for the brace? What if this was something about the bump stock? What if this was something that mattered? Well, we don't go to the range because every time we buy a rifle, it just shoots dead on for us. We don't buy targets because we never need to practice. We purchase those things, we go to the range, we buy more ammo than we're going to need because we know that we're going to have to practice. We'll consider this project some practice. Yeah, I'm going to get some resources out of it. I'm going to get a fancy robot that costs thousands of dollars, and I'm going to run around making patches for people with it. Sure, yeah, whatever. But really, everybody that participates is getting a little bit of practice, a little bit of exercise on what it's like to manipulate the internet, to move things around deliberately on the internet to create an effect that you decided was important. We hope that you'll decide this project is important so that we can get that robot. But again, if you don't want to, you're not listening to this probably. So thanks to the people who are participating in that. You're doing more than you think. When you practice, right, with your rifle, you're creating jobs for people that make the ammo in the rifle, right? You're giving those people who volunteer at the range some reason to come back next week and volunteer again. You're inspiring those people who are down the couple of lanes down who aren't shooting as good as you to keep shooting because they'll see that they can get as good as you with some practice, right? You're being seen out of the corner of their eye by people who are much better than you but see you coming. They see you practicing, and they're going to continue to practice because they want to stay better than you. You have influence. You're not out there by yourself, and you're not alone in this community. You're not buying the firearms. You're not buying the ammunition out of somebody's butt. You're buying that out of a company that's run by somebody who had a passion and had a goal, and they brought a bunch of capitalists together, and those capitalists started producing products in a community and in an economy that sometimes and sometimes doesn't value us. So we're all got a part to play. We all got a position in it. You can be an observer. You can watch other people do stuff, or you can help drop links. You can throw $50 around. You can decide this isn't the project for you, and you can help with other things that are for you and be part of what we're doing out there. So when I do these projects, I am doing them for myself because I do have goals, but I'm also doing them in a way that isn't just for my goals. I'm hopefully going to teach, inspire, and lead the way for some other folks who might be trying to do stuff too. That being said, if you know somebody who's interested in learning about these projects, these crowdfunding projects, if your Second Amendment, if you're focused on what our Second Amendment protects, not the guns, but the fundamental principles of the Second Amendment, I'll show you how this stuff works. If you're just a gun person, then yeah, you can pay me a couple of bucks and I'll show you how it works. It's a little bit different for us as gun people than it is for everybody else, but not that much different. And I'll give you 37 projects worth of experience if you need it. All right, thanks for the $5 or whatever that is, 5 units of monies, and the opportunity, the excuse to go talk about the projects a little bit. Getting back to it, here's Gizzards is Foul Territory show. So we're going to put that in. I usually put the conversations down here underneath of the gun stuff, which goes underneath the 2A. So usually I put it in order of 2A, most important, because that's, it's what matters. Then we got the gun stuff, which, it's important to some people. It's interesting. And then we got the community stuff, which isn't less important than the gun stuff. It's just that there's more of it and it's every week. So I put it down on top of the radio shows, which again aren't less important. They're just professional and they're doing it every week. And then it's on top of the military interviews, which are less important for 2A, but still pretty interesting and still pretty applicable. And then finally on the list is our stuff, which we put in there when it's interesting or necessary or something or useful, but always prioritized at the bottom. So next is this CIA guy. He's not really CIA. He's some guy that watches the CIA and talks about them all the time, but he gets just shit-faced drunk when he's on this show, and I do not like listening or hanging around drunk people, so it's a real challenge for me to listen to this guy. But he does know what he's talking about, and he's able to eventually get stories out. Super long-winded, and he's completely shit-faced drunk. But 11,000 views in 5 days. People dig it. There's a lot of information about China in here. G23 is sharing the campaign. Much appreciated, especially when you're doing stuff like yours. You know, a channel like yours that's doing stuff. You might not have a bunch of, views or whatever, subscribers to show for it, but as far as your influence on the platform, I believe, and I could be wrong because I guess I don't know, but it feels like channels that do more are like anchors. They're like the slow-moving bulldozer. They don't haul ass, but when you attach yourself to a bulldozer, projects move, right? They don't haul, they don't move quickly, but they do move. And it doesn't matter how large they are often, they'll get moved. So I do appreciate it. And I'm not calling you a bulldozer, but I'm just saying I think channels that go long format, Gizzard, you, Travis, Chris, etc. I often say you guys are dragging your channels into the dirt, but it's that same kind of thing. You're creating gravity. You're creating anchor points that other channels can use, not necessarily for analytics, but for foundation, so that they know that there's a community out there that understands them and that they have somebody who's authentic to talk to. It's super valuable. Anyway, so thanks for helping to share it. I think you did. What I did, what? What did I do? All right, and then finally the 2A cops. This one is a little bit more hype than some of the other ones, I suspect. So I think I'm going to put it here between here. All right, and that's enough for now. So now I can take this, and I don't have a thumbnail for it, which is going to be lame. So let's get a thumbnail for it. All right, so here's how we get thumbnails. I'm now using Adobe Express. Oh, call them a bulldozer? Yeah, maybe. I don't call us anchors. I don't know. I can't say. It's not like it's not like channels that have long format content. They don't. They anchor. They anchor. So I think it is a bulldozer. Oh, I don't know. Because an anchor, you don't really move with an anchor, right? An anchor would pin you somewhere. So maybe it is bulldozing. I don't know. Maybe it's just having like a Ram truck or something, or a Dodge truck that can haul a bunch of whatever, haul a bunch of weight. All right, so what am I looking for? I'm looking for my projects, and now we scroll down a little bit until I find one that is last week's thing, and then you go to this, and you say duplicate, and then it'll go duplicate, and then you give it a new name, and then you hit enter. Well, so I'm wondering if it's more of a bulldozer, or if it isn't like just a big, decent truck. I'm going to say a Dodge pickup, because a Dodge pickup can haul, it can move stuff, but it can also unhook and then also just drive around, and a bulldozer can't. A bulldozer is stationary, period. And that's why I hesitate to say the channels are like bulldozers. I think they can pull a load. They can carry weight, but they can also let the weight go. Well, that's a bad analogy, because channels do kind of screw themselves over doing this. Maybe it's a bad analogy all around, so we'll just deal with that. Let's see. So now we know that it's going to be on the 24th, and here's the problem with Adobe Express. I have to do this all the time in order to be able to see stuff. So first off, this gets changed to 1500. So I could make this a little bit bigger since it's episode 1500 and change it to a green color just to be different and give it a little bit of a curve or something. All right, otherwise that's all going to stay the same. Up here, I'm going to change that. I already did. So I don't know what the topics are this week. So why don't we try something a little bit different? Why don't we go over here to design assets, and I'm going to type in skull and see if I can't get a neat looking skull. This one's pretty neat looking. I kind of like this one. So it's a bad color, but hopefully I can change the color. Ugh. Really? What was that noise? What the hell is that noise? What's making that noise? Oh, Gilded? Somebody's over there messing around in Gilded? I feel like that's the noise I'm hearing. It's the only thing it can be, I guess. So that's weird. Why can't you change this stupid color of this thing? So I'm going to try flipping the filter. I guess that's how you change the color in this thing. Oh, maybe that is how you change the color in these things. All right, well, we're going to make it an orange skull, of course. So we'll make it orange, a little bit brighter orange than that, maybe. Okay, we'll make it that color orange. And then that was effects. Can I put a border around it? I guess not. Oh, what happened? I want the filters to be on. Okay, I just don't need that to be down. And then, I guess I don't want blur. All right, so there's the skull on that side. What should be the other side? How about a rose? Well, I can tell something's going on because now I got a bunch of little, what do you call these things? Fruit flies flying around. It's driving me nuts. So it's super cold. I don't know why there's bugs flying around. Usually that's an indication that it's getting warmer out. Boy, all these roses look horrible. Seriously, come on, give me a good looking rose here. Something that matches with that rose, with that skull. All right, does that look like a rose enough? Not really, but guess what? That's what we're getting. So I could spend all day doing this if I was interested in it. It is episode 1500, so I probably should come up with a better image than this. Let's put this one in. It looks less like a weird apple. Okay, and then we'll download that again. Start download. And you can close this. And now we come over here and that's annoying. When you're doing this and you lose the thing, you can just do that. Go back to record and then live, and then your window didn't disappear. It just got hidden, so it pops back. I don't know if anybody's had to deal with that before. Super scary the first time you fill out a bunch of stuff and then lose that pop-up. All right, so there's the thumbnail in there now, and we're good to go. So now we can set this thing up for tomorrow at 10 p.m. And when I am done with it, it will exist, and I can still fiddle with it tomorrow if I need to. I have 2 days before it goes live, so I can still fiddle with that if necessary, but now it'll just be over here in the channel getting ready to be a thing, probably under live, I guess. Yep. And we can click on it and edit it. Still got 46 hours, so there's plenty of time to add stuff to it if necessary. Change the thumbnail if we want to. Although I'm already okay with it. And now we can come in here and give it the attribute of weekly wrap-up and daily gun show. Say done, say save, then come over to customization. Now notice this isn't in StreamYard. StreamYard created it. Now I'm in YouTube because now I can come over here and go to customization eventually and then say trailer. Guess what? Robot. Redirect. Guess what? Mouse party. Where's the mouse party? Come on, man. So how about Cape Gunworks then? So where's the mouse party? So let's book out of here. Go back to the channel. All right, we've got the show that we're in right now. What? What do you mean we got the show we're in right now? Yeah, the show we're in right now. And edit. Oh, man. Or am I going to get a YouTube? Man. So now I can go nowhere. I'm all screwed. So I have to go out of here. I got to open this up. Go here. Go here. Get over to customization real quick. The redirect is to the Polish show that we haven't even done ever. Eventually, we're going to do a show on this Polish stuff, though. Then we'll go into subscriptions. I've heard that there's a mouse party tonight. There it is. Now we can go over here. We can click this, hit redirect, other person's video, paste, boom, save. And now when this one ends, which will happen momentarily, guess what will happen? Everyone will be redirected over to the epic, world-renowned episode number 44 of the Mouse Party. Yes, it is true. Using the magic of YouTube and what we just did with the what's nots and the thingamajiggies, boom, you're going to be heading over to the Mouse Party when this show's over. All right, well, guess what we did? We set up our weekly wrap-up. You got to see what it was like behind the scenes, and maybe you stayed awake for a little while before Baron and Bjorn host the Mouse Party, except Bjorn got outed on the last episode, and now somebody new called DM Foss is going to be new to the show. So if you're interested in seeing what the rookie DM Foss and the old experienced Baron do on tonight's episode of the Mouse Party, you've got approximately 1 minute and 36 seconds to get yourself over there. Maybe get yourself something to drink on the way. Think about it this way. If you're going to go over there and you're going to pet a puppy responsibly. Thank you very much for joining us. We have a sewing machine project we're trying to champion. Thanks to Foss for making this little video for us. Thanks to you for joining us this evening. Tomorrow night, guess what? We'll be back for episode 1499. Never been done before.